Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Nintendo of America, Cammie Dunaway.
Good morning. Well, as you can see, my name is not Reggie. But these days, I do have a lot in common with my boss. We're both having a lot of fun. I mean, how can you not be happy when your job every day is to get up and think about video games? In fact, just like the people you saw in the opening video, I can't stop smiling. Now, of course, as a mom, it helps to be at a company like Nintendo. As my son Davis said in my Mother's Day card this year, "Mom, I love you more than anything, and not just because you bring me all the video games." Now, how could that not put a smile on my face? I can also testify that playing video games is probably a safer way to impress your kids than some other things I've tried. Now, for example, here I am at Whistler this winter trying out snowboarding. And I thought that made me a really cool mom. At least until the last run of the day, when through some absolutely freak occurrence, certainly nothing to do with my lack of coordination, the fates pushed me right off my board and I landed with full body weight right on my left wrist. Short story, the ground won, my wrist lost. And I can tell you, it is one long ride down the mountain when you're being pulled by the ski patrol. What I discovered that day is that snowboarding is really a lot harder than it looks. But the fact is, I don't like a smile taken off my face for anything. And I also really don't like giving up. So, I decided that as a snowboarder, all I really needed was a little help from a friend, a really talented friend. And I'm smiling again today because I think I've found the perfect answer.
I'll make the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the gold medalist in the men's halfpipe at the 2006 Torino Olympics, Mr. Shaun White.
How are you?
Oh, Shaun, it looked like you were having a blast.
Yeah,
Sorry
I'm
about
having
that
fun.
fall.
I know. I was warming up.
Oh, okay. Now, I understand from the guys at UB that they developed this game from the ground up to really take advantage of the new balance board from Wii.
Well,
How'd it
yeah,
feel?
I mean, once we put the board involved, it just enhances the gameplay. I mean, for me, it's so unbelievable because when I'm actually on my snowboard, I lean forward to go faster.
Yeah.
And just like on the game, you go faster when you tuck and all your spins, and it's really cool.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
Now, what other kind of input did you give the team to really capture snowboarding?
I mean, a lot of the stuff for me was just kind of describing what it's like for me. Because when I'm up in the air, I see a totally different view than everybody else gets to see. So I had that input and just overall how the mountain should look, and it was really fun.
Well, I've also been told that pretty much anybody can just jump on the board and go. I don't know if you heard my opening, but
I heard.
I'd love to give it a try.
I could bring it on. All right.
All right. I mean, how many times in my life am I going to be able to get pointers
Oh, you're
from
right.
Shaun White?
I'll give you some tips.
Okay, let's see. Let's get my board going here.
Calibrate.
Okay, yep.
I think this round.
What event should we try, do you think?
Let's do the half pipe.
Oh, man, that's your event, right? I've never done this.
Oh, you are me right now.
Okay. Oh, I'm you. Okay, I'll try to do so.
All right. There you go. That's a method. Send me just the view from the cameras. They're so cool. All right, make me look good now. All right.
Yes! Woo!
I should get some lessons from you.
Oh, that hurt. Oh, man, Sean! You're supposed to be helping.
Oh, you got it. There you go. Just aim down the wall. There you go. See, the more you go down the wall, the faster you go and the bigger you go out. It's just like for me in real life.
Yeah, that was tasty.
Yeah. Is that you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice run.
That's
all
how
right.
it's done.
All right. Woo!
Yeah.
That's not bad. 1,000 points. All right, I didn't hurt my wrist. Well, Sean, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was great
Thanks
fun.
for
Really
having
appreciate
me.
you being
For sure.
here.
See you guys.
Now, all of you can have as much fun as I just had making your own runs down when this game arrives exclusively for Wii by year end. Now, if everyone would please welcome me in joining Nintendo's global president, Mr. Satoru Iwata.
Thank you, Cami and Sean. And good morning. I think everyone recognizes that a big change, actually a true paradigm shift, has taken place in the global game market. 5 years ago, in May 2003, I addressed E3 for the first time as the president of Nintendo. I still vividly recall that day. Because I knew almost everyone attending held a pessimistic view about Nintendo's future. That period was not enjoyable, but I knew that people were just using what seems to be a common sense view of the video game market. I must admit that even Nintendo employees could not have imagined that 5 years later, the market would have responded so quickly that we could be selling millions of bathroom scales around the world. When a true paradigm shift occurs, common sense doesn't seem to make as much sense anymore. And I believe that's what happened in video games. Today, I'd like to spend a few minutes to discuss what has really changed in this new paradigm. First, we are now selling games which can sell steadily for a long period of time. In the past, it seemed impossible to expect any software to sell for 2 years or 3 years. But titles like Nintendogs and Brain Age are doing just that. Also, New Super Mario Bros. And Mario Kart DS. To use a Western term, these products seem to be evergreens. This, I think, is a really big change. Second, I believe it is no longer common sense that players only seek new titles with more gorgeous-looking graphics and more sophisticated content. Of course, I myself am aware that great numbers of game players around the world do demand increasingly gorgeous games. And we at Nintendo continue to challenge ourselves to meet these needs. Today, I want to let you know that our internal team, which creates Mario games, and the one that make Zelda games, are both hard at work. They will bring new titles to Wii. On the other hand, it is also true that games with new concepts like Wii Sports and Wii Fit have received support from many customers for entirely different reasons. Small teams with small budgets can capture a worldwide audience if they have a great idea. And this is both the challenge and the opportunity of WiiWare. Third, certainly the user base has expanded. Take a look at this picture. Or what about this one? Before, our common sense view of the video game market was too limited. Now we have learned that intuitive interface can help attract those who never considered video games before. And audience expansion brings a related effect. It has changed the seasonal nature of video game hardware sales. Game systems used to be purchased more often as a gift item during the holidays. Today, game hardware systems are more likely purchased by people for themselves at any time of the year. Recently in Europe, consumers are buying more than 200,000 Nintendo DS units a week, as if every week were a holiday week. Here in America, players have bought an average of 700,000 Wii systems over the last 3 months, a level typically not seen outside of November and December. Finally, in a very unexpected way, we are seeing a new form of social interaction developing. Last year, I said that we would like to destroy the psychological barriers that exist between gamers and non-gamers. Wii Sports and Wii Play showed this was possible, but alone they were not enough to prove general trend. Mario Kart Wii and Wii Fit created more of these conversations. But maybe the strongest evidence comes with Guitar Hero 3. While it is available on many platforms, the Wii version is outselling all others. At Nintendo, we believe there is progress being made in destroying the psychological barrier. But now, with a new paradigm, what can we expect next? Even if it is revolutionary, sooner or later, people will become tired of a new form of entertainment. This happens faster when others try to reproduce the initial change. Then, what seemed fresh inevitably will be lost. For all of us in the video game industry, there is danger in standing still. Common sense is not enough, but there are answers. Personally, I believe we must find more ways for players to feel engaged, different ways for them to be enriched, even with interactions we would not call games. And most of all, the overall experience from our products must be increased enthusiasm. Unfortunately, all this is much easier to say than do. So, let me conclude by saying that we at Nintendo always challenge ourselves to be pioneer in forming new paradigms. We seek fresh surprises, and I hope you will enjoy the ones we have for you today. The first one fits with a larger social trend we all see, with consumers acting as creators and then sharing their work. Certainly, we are not the only ones to think along these lines. But we believe Nintendo can add something different, engage players in new ways. So, thank you for your attention this morning, and please take a moment to consider how Mr. Katsuya Eguchi is bringing creativity and community together in a key holiday release. Thank you.
I became a game designer because ever since I was a child, I loved playing video games. As far as how I came up with the idea for Animal Crossing, what I thought was to create a field where the players could communicate with each other. I wanted to create a software where players could feel like they are playing together, even if they are playing at different times. The town is where you live and do the things you like. There are no required goals, and the players are free to do things their own way. I think the players really feel like the world is happening in real time. Even when you are not playing the game, the animals in the world of Animal Crossing get up in the morning and then go to bed at night. So you could really feel like you are visiting a realistic world with a 24-hour clock year-round. The city is a brand new place to explore in the Wii version of Animal Crossing. There is an auction site where you can see items that are for sale. Of course, you can also put up your own items for sale. There is a Happy Room Academy where you can find out what other players are doing. You can visit the famous fashion designer Gracie at her store. You can also go to Harriet's beauty salon, where you can change your hairstyle or even choose to put on a mask and look like you're me. Of course, the key to Animal Crossing is communication, and there are some exciting advances. For one thing, you can write letters to other players and attach pictures to them. You can send them not just to other towns, but to the Wii message board, or to friends' cell phones and personal computers. But the biggest news is a special new microphone option called Wii Speak. It's not a singular headset, but a community microphone that lets every person in a room talk with another room for players anywhere in the world.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey guys, what's up?
For example, for today's main event, we are having a fishing contest.
You guys are in major trouble.
You can catch different fish depending on the season.
Oh man, I'm out of practice.
I didn't know you were practicing.
Oh, this is terrible.
Waiting for it to bite. Waiting.
Got it.
Waiting.
Hold on.
Got it.
Oh, that one's mine.
You can really get a sense of the personality of the player. For example, when you go to someone's town, you can see how they decorate their room, or if it is neat or messy. It's also fun to see how they have set up their town, because it tells you what kind of person they are, and I think that's really fun. It makes me happy to hear stories of people who are able to talk with their friends, or even able to make new ones. Looking ahead, I want players to continue to be able to have the freedom to create their own worlds, to be able to communicate with others in a variety of ways, and to share the world they have created, and to have a place where the players can connect with each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and Chief Operating Officer for Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Good morning. When I last talked to you from an E3 stage, I closed by saying that we at Nintendo were pleased, but not close to being satisfied. With Animal Crossing on its way to Wii by the end of this year, complete with the Wii Speak option, of course we're pleased. And in a larger sense, we're even more pleased with our marketplace momentum. After all, in May, according to the NPD data, lifetime sales in the US for Wii hardware reached 10 million systems. DS surpassed 20 million. And the sales of these two game devices alone now combine to represent more than $5 billion at retail just in the US. But despite all this, we're no closer to being satisfied. That's because there are still tens of millions of people around the world ready to get into the game that we all love. And at the same time, there are millions of us veteran gamers hungry for what's next. At Nintendo, we want to fill both those needs. Let me begin with a little marketplace perspective, and I promise I'll keep this short. Here are lifetime global hardware unit sales for the last iteration of each major platform. The biggest bar belongs to Nintendo DS. By the end of our current fiscal year, next March, we expect that total DS worldwide sales will grow to almost 100 million systems. Focusing on DS here in America, annual sales have ramped up each year. Now, some people still cling to previous expectations for product cycles, and consequently thought that 2007 would be the peak year for DS. However, it still represents better than 2 out of every 3 handhelds sold here in America. And so far, in 2008, DS sales here in the US are running another 12% ahead of last year's record. Hardware sales are always driven by key software franchises. And this spring, that key franchise was Pokemon. Sales of the companion Mystery Dungeon series sold through more than 600,000 copies in just 6 weeks. This grows lifetime total sales for all Pokemon titles to 180 million. The arrival of games like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games have pushed total DS software sales in America 29% ahead of last year. Now, later this week, we believe the June NPD data may show that the back and forth battle between Wii and DS as America's best-selling game system may have shifted, for the moment, back to DS. In no small part, it's due to those evergreen titles Mr. Iwata mentioned. we began running a TV campaign in May targeting females, featuring celebrity endorsements. Within weeks, unit sales for titles like the Brain Age games, Nintendogs, Super Mario Brothers at least doubled. To repeat, there seems to be an unlimited number of people out there just looking for a way to get into our game. For Wii, the sales trajectory is climbing even steeper. This chart shows comparative system sales. The blue bars represent the first 12 months in the market, and the yellow bars represent sales from year 1 through month 19. It's here, beyond the realm of the early adopters, where Wii demonstrates how its historic sales pace is actually increasing. When those June NPD numbers are released on Thursday, we will not be surprised if Wii becomes the best-selling console in this generation in America, just as it already has on a worldwide basis. Now, you all know about the popularity of Wii hardware, but perhaps not as widely appreciated is the story for Wii software. It's exactly the same. Again, no system has ever sold more games during its first 19 months of availability. And again, the sales advantage after year 1 continues to grow. It's no secret that Nintendo internally approached game development for Wii on 2 different fronts. On one hand, we made sure we leveraged our well-known stable of stars early in the generation to satisfy and reassure veteran gamers. But at the same time, we also created new titles, beginning with Wii Sports and continuing with Wii Fit, that made even confirmed non-gamers stand up and take notice. But now a new dynamic is emerging. Having passed a year and a half in the market, our creative third-party partners are finding success with Wii. To date, 19 different third-party games on Wii have exceeded sales of 400,000 units in America alone. And those titles come from 11 different publishers. The wonderful thing about this trend is that there are almost as many strategies on how to attack Wii development as there are different developers and publishers making those decisions. For example, you might ask if this is the platform that will be dominated by new kinds of casual games. Or is this the place to use the unique forms of Wii interface to freshen up even the most legendary IP? Or is this the ideal spot for new franchises with obvious core appeal that set new standards for a genre? Well, the correct answer is all of the above. The Wii library continues to grow far faster than other current consoles, and there'll be dozens and dozens of new titles arriving in the coming months. The truth is, there's no way today we can give you even a quick glimpse of everything that's on its way. So instead, we've chosen to limit our preview to just 3 new games that take very different approaches to the interface options available on Wii. Take a look.
Skywalker is the Republic's only hope.
As you can see, Wii creativity is mushrooming, but that's only half of our software story here at E3. What we've just seen are games that reside in your living room. But what about the games that travel with you? Every year, portable games take a bigger bite of the total software pie. What's driving this growth are new players. Who are they? Well, here's a giant clue. In 2005, 30% of all DS recipients were female. Now, recipients are defined as those who either bought a DS for themselves or asked for and received one as a gift. By 2006, the percentage of female players jumped to 46%. And last year, it almost reached exact parity with males. The DS appeal is universal. And that appeal is apparent with our third-party hits as well. Activision reports that the current DS version of Guitar Hero on Tour sold 300,000 copies in America in just its first week. And now, an even more imaginative interpretation of the franchise called On Tour Decades is on the way. The DS is also the only gaming-dedicated platform where you'll find Will Wright's Spore this year. We think both of these titles deserve a closer look.
So this fall, we're going to be bringing Guitar Hero On Tour Decades, and with it, brand new innovation to the platform. For the first time, players will be able to song share between versions of the game.
Song sharing is a feature that allows me to take my version of Guitar Hero on tour and meet up with a friend or a relative who has a different version of Guitar Hero on tour, like Guitar Hero on Tour Decades, and we can share our songs with each other.
The innovation of the guitar grip, really allowed us to bring a tactile experience coupled with the touchscreen mechanics of strumming with a pick stylus.
But additionally, the DS has the microphone, the dual screen, its portable nature. All of these aspects add to the unique experience that you get on the Nintendo DS.
Spore is this epic journey, and it's all about sort of evolving your creature in this world that you live on. Now, with the Nintendo version of the game, it is a unique and different design. We focused more on the creature game for the Nintendo DS. One of the things that was important to us when we designed the game for the Nintendo DS was to really hit on those core elements that are really about Spore, which is player creativity and that sharing. With the Nintendo DS, not only were we able to sort of take advantage of the stylus, so we could create this creature creator that's so easy and intuitive to use. You just drag parts from the parts panel over onto your creature and add to it. The other thing about Spore that on the PC that we moved over to the DS was the ability to share your creations. When you share your creatures with your friends, those creatures not only appear in your zoo, but they can also show up in the game. You can decide to befriend them with your own creature. So you can kind of get your own little posse going with your friends' creatures, and it can really help you out in gameplay. The DS is really attractive for game designers and game makers because it gave the opportunity to open up and sort of say, hey, we can design a little bit differently. This audience is really responding to it.
Now, in addition to these great exclusives, I can add one more piece of launch news. The next invasion of Pokemon, the highly anticipated Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Almia, will offload onto U.S. shores on November the 10th. To recap, another new Guitar Hero coming to DS, a custom Spore coming to DS, and new Pokemon 2. And make no mistake, the appeal of DS extends to the core as well. We can announce today that a custom version of Grand Theft Auto called Chinatown Wars arrives on DS this winter. Set in a modern-day Liberty City, the game features a custom game engine, new characters, and the same free-ranging gameplay that GTA fans have come to expect. For some time now, Nintendo and our third-party partners have been using the DS to redefine the meaning of video game. And that spirit of invention and reinvention now also applies to the DS itself. Here's what I mean. Now, I'm one of the many people, probably like all you guys, who spend way too much time in airports. And much of that time is already spent on my DS. Currently, I'm playing Animal Crossing. So, what if DS and air travel came together in a different way? For example, when I land, why can't my DS provide information on where I can claim my luggage or the gate for my connecting flight? If I'm staying over, what about the nearest ATM or a Mexican restaurant? This is all being tested. Another example. How about changing up your next visit to the old ballpark? Well, at Safeco Field in Seattle, fans are already using their DS to check the box scores of other live games, watch highlights, compete on trivia contests with other fans in the park. They're even using the DS touchscreen to order up that Seattle sushi favorite, the Ichi-roll. Seriously, they really have that stuff in Seattle. Now, speaking of food, one more idea. Could it be that the DS could even earn a spot in your kitchen? Well, for some time now, in Japan, Cooking Navi has turned the DS into an electronic cookbook. And the same title will serve up both international recipes and cooking tips when an English version arrives here in November. The perfect timing for people like me looking for help with their holiday dinners. Trust me, I'm even worse at cooking than I am at snowboarding. Now, in many ways, the DS may be transforming itself from a great portable device for gamers into a natural companion for everyone. Reggie?
Cami just talked about looking at something very familiar, the Nintendo DS, with a fresh set of eyes. Let me build on that idea, literally. We all know what this is, and as you may have heard, we're about to redefine the Wii Remote thanks to this. What this small accessory does is make the Wii Remote more precise, more responsive, more intense. It's called Wii Motion Plus. Wii Motion Plus renders every slight shift of your wrist or arm into the gameplay. But as every game player knows, technical advances can be empty promises without outstanding software. So today, we're going to show you how this worthy successor to the Wii Remote comes to life using a more than worthy successor to Wii Sports. Let me introduce you to Wii Sports Resort, which is literally a day at the beach. It generates fun in the sun with a variety of activities, and we're going to show you 3 of them right now on stage. While I have Cami come out here along with Bill Trinan from our Treehouse group to explain the action, I can tell you that there will be one Wii Motion Plus accessory and extended jacket packaged with every Wii Sports Resort. And of course, others will be available separately. So Cami, what have you got?
Okay, Reggie, I have got probably the cutest game that you have ever seen. Meet my little puppy here, Peach, and we are going to play Disc Dog together.
All right, now before you do anything, Cami, I think what we need to do is let everybody understand here what Wii Motion Plus is all about. Now, if you guys are anything like me, you probably remember the very first time you got your hands on the Wii Remote, and that, for me, was a magical moment. And I want you all to prepare yourselves to experience that same thrill again here at E3 this year. Now, you'll notice that as Cammie is subtly rotating her wrist, that precise action is being reflected on screen in real time at the exact angles that she is moving. And as she moves her hand in front of her in space, it knows exactly where her hand is. That's what Wii Motion Plus does. Okay, Cammie, you don't even have to press a button.
Okay.
Just swing your arm to throw the disc.
Okay, Peach, you ready?
And we'll see how your puppy
Okay, let's
responds.
go, girl. Let me do a little, line it up. I was never very good at this. And, up. Oh, go, go. Oh, okay.
Now remember, Cammie, you want to
See,
pay
it's so
attention to that tilt
precise
when
that
you're
it's
throwing.
picking up my bad wrist action. Okay, let's try this again.
Is that the good
Okay.
wrist or the broken wrist?
Well, unfortunately, it was the good one. Okay. Oh, go, girl, go! Yes!
Very nice.
Oh, Reggie, you got to admit, is that the most adorable game you've ever seen?
It's kind of cute. It's kind of okay. But I want to show the group something that's a little bit more my speed.
All right.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this.
Wow.
Oh.
You really like that throttle, don't you, Reggie? Oh.
Oh, yes. Oh!
Uh-oh, don't miss one.
Oh, back on the course.
Watch out for the roller. Well, I guess you're right, Reggie. That really is more your speed.
Guys like power stuff,
Oh, you guys. I like the puppy.
Come on. I think the crowd is going to like being on a
power cruiser.
Power cruiser a lot more than throwing discs to a
You
dog.
guys are all the same.
Well, obviously, we've got a little dispute here that I think needs some settling. And I think there's no better way to do that than with a little old-fashioned sword dueling. What do you say?
Let's go for it.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I'll show you what you'll be doing, okay? All right, let me get started here. Now you hold the Wii remote with both hands, right? Of course, you can chop vertically. Okay? You can chop horizontally. You can chop at any angle you want. And in fact, you can block. And all of that is reflected in real time. And if you're really good, you can sharpen the pencil as well. Okay?
This looks more my speed,
I
too,
am
I think.
so ready. How often do you get to do this with your boss? Now, wait a minute. Okay.
You're
I got to get ready.
There you go.
Give me a minute.
You ready, Cammie?
I am so ready.
So now let's see who the true master is.
That was too quick.
That's why they call me the Reginator.
Oh. Now, if I just had both wrists working.
You want to go again?
Let's go again.
You want a little more?
Bring it on, baby.
Well, it looks like with one match each, we've got a bit of a draw, so we're going to have to let everybody decide which one they prefer on the show floor.
All right.
We may
That
have
was a
just
lot of
seen the
fun.
birth of the Caminator. I don't know. What we've shown you today is just a small taste of Wii Sports Resort. If you stop to consider a summer vacation, other activities come to mind, and several of them will appear in Wii Sports Resort. But Wii Motion Plus represents a much broader opportunity. It's clear that many developers specializing in virtually every game genre are right now contemplating how to use Wii Motion Plus to further drive player immersion. Obviously, that won't happen instantly. But when the world's best game creators have the chance to work for a while with this new standard in one-to-one motion control, they'll certainly take you deeper than ever before. We began our presentation today with a single image in mind: smiling faces. And we believe there'll be a lot more of them when Wii Sports Resort launches globally next spring. But before we finish today, we want to introduce you to one more experience available this holiday that you'll all be able to play with your current Wii remotes. It's safe to say it will generate a lot of smiles, new smiles, in a whole new way.
Please welcome gaming legend Shigeru Miyamoto.
Hello. This year, I would like to introduce you to Wii Music. Bill, please. このゲームはね、Wii の企画を最初立ち上げたときに、Wii スポーツ、それから Wii Play、Wii Fit と同時に計画したソフトですね。
This game is one of the titles that we began designing alongside Wii Play, Wii Sports, and Wii Fit when we were first finalizing our plans for Wii.
でリビングでこう家族みんなが年の差も性別も関係なく遊ぶにはやっぱり音楽は欠かせないと思うんですね。
Because if you want something that everyone in the family can enjoy together in the living room, regardless of age or gender, music is a must.
で Wii Music は過去にあるこう一般的な音楽ゲームとは全然違った遊びです。
But Wii Music is a slightly different play experience than you've seen with past music games.
で音楽ゲームは普通はこう画面に出てくる、形や記号にね合わせてこうボタンを押してそれで、評価をしてもらうゲームが多いんですけども。
Now, most music games typically require you to press buttons with precise timing, matching symbols on screen to earn points and compete for the strongest performance.
Wii Music ではこう楽器を弾けない人とか楽譜が読めない人が、音楽を演奏する楽しみをね、味わってもらえるように作りました。
But we've designed Wii Music to allow everyone, including people who can't read music and people who can't play real instruments, to experience the joy of performing music.
でこう曲を演奏するのにね、あなたはこう、一生懸命こうガイドを追いかける必要はないんですね。
Now, there's no need to closely follow any musical notes or rhythm guides in order to play these songs.
で自分がこう音を鳴らしたいタイミングでこうその楽器に合わせた身振りをする。それだけで Wii の方が勝手に正しい音を鳴らしてくれます。
All that you have to do is hold the Wii remote and move your hands and your body like you would when playing a real instrument. And the Wii detects that and plays a note for you that matches the song.
でさっきの私の演奏もそうなんですけど、僕はギターは弾くんですけどね、サックスは全く吹けません。
And that's how I was just performing for you. I can play guitar, but I cannot play the sax at all.
でこう僕がしていたのはこう Wii リモートをこう構えてサックスを吹いてる気分でこうボタンを好きなリズムで押してたわけですね。
So I was just holding the Wii remote, pretending like I was playing the sax, and pressing the buttons with a timing of my preference.
で僕はどの音を吹こうかとかね、間違ったらどうしようかとかそういうことを全然心配せずに音楽を楽しみました。
So in this way, I don't have to worry about what do I do if I play the wrong note or if I make a mistake.
さっきこう F0 をイメージしてたんですね。
For those of you who are familiar, this song might sound a little bit familiar. It's from an F-Zero game.
でこのソフトではね、このサックスだけじゃなくて50種類を超えるいろんな楽器がその楽器に合わせた振りで弾けることができるんですね。
In Wii Music, you're going to be able to play over 50 different instruments just by moving your body.
ピアノです。
So, for example, the piano.
これですね。
Just like that.
バイオリンはねちょっと凝ってるんですよ。
And the violin is a slightly more unique instrument. You hold the strings with your left hand, press the buttons to sound the notes. And the bigness of the motion of your right hand adjusts the volume of those notes.
こうですね。
Just like this.
ギターはこんな感じです。
Of course, guitar, you play like you would a real guitar.
ミュートですね。
You can pluck.
フラットできる。
You strum.
こんな感じです。それから、パーカッションもあります。
There's a variety of percussion instruments as well.
和太鼓。まあこんなねそれからさっき後ろでドラムを捉えてくれたのはプロのドラマーのラビーさんなんですけどもね。
And of course, behind me here, we have a professional drummer who's been performing for us this morning. His name is Ravi Drums.
で彼が今使っているのはWii Fit のバランスWiiボードを使ったね、ドラムのフットペダルのついたフルセットです。シミュレーターです。
What he's playing is a separate mode that uses the Wii balance board to activate the drum pedals, creating a complete drum simulator.
こうレッスンがついてるのでね、本当に誰でも数週間でドラムが叩けるようになるという。
And this mode also includes lessons, which means that anybody, even you, can learn to play the drums in just a few weeks.
でラビさん昨日練習しただけでも随分とこう快適に弾きこなしてますけどね。
In fact, Ravi only started practicing just yesterday, and as you can see, he's already gotten quite good.
さて、覚えておられる方もあると思いますけれども、2年前に僕はここでオーケストラの指揮をしました。
I'm sure some here in the audience this morning remember, but 2 years ago on this stage, I conducted an orchestra.
なんかインターネットではこう下手とか言われたんですけどね。
Many of you on the internet said I was pretty bad.
でこのオーケストラのゲームもね、その他にこうハンドベルのゲームとか、それから音を当てるゲームとかいろんなゲームと一緒にこの Wii Music の中に入っています。
So we've included in Wii Music both this orchestra game and some other modes like a handbell choir and some note matching games as well.
それからさっき演奏を評価するゲームじゃないって言ったんですけども、逆にミュージックビデオが作れるんですね。
And while I said earlier, Wii Music isn't a game that's going to evaluate your performance, what it will do is record videos of your performances.
でこのモードではなんか一人でこう何役もこなした自分のミュージックビデオを作ることもできます。
And in fact, one player can play and record each individual part in a song and create their own unique music video.
じゃあそれでね、みんなで今日は演奏してみたいと思うんですけどね。
But since we have everyone here this morning, I thought it might be nice if we played a song for you.
6人の編成バンドなんですけど、4人で演奏ができます。
Now the bands have 6 different parts, but you play with up to 4 players simultaneously.
それから今日は特別にダビーさんのドラムも入ってもらいましょう。
And for our special presentation this morning, Ravi will join us on the drums.
じゃあジャムの紹介をしてください。
Joining in the band will be Nintendo of America's Vice President of Corporate Affairs, Ms. Denise Kegler, on the marimba, along with our all-star treehouse horn section. Everybody ready?
ですか。僕は何にしようかな。僕はカウベルしか残ってないです。
Looks like all that's left for me is the cowbell.
じゃあ行きますね。
All right. Bring the house down, guys.
What we've tried to do today, as Mr. Iwata said, is to look forward to a place where gamers are more engaged, more enriched, and even more enthused in their experiences.
Consider the possibilities. Snowboarding on the Wii balance board, yes, without injuring yourself. Using Wii Speak to talk live worldwide with friends as they arrive electronically in your Animal Crossing. Even using the new Wii Motion Plus as a sword to help your boss feel better about himself. There's no question that games can and will engage us in new and more compelling ways. And there is only one place where high-profile games like Guitar Hero, Star Wars, Rayman, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, and Spore can be found right alongside unique franchises like Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and now Wii Sports Resort and Wii Music. Nintendo simply brings more smiles to more faces.
To conclude, let's be honest. From the minute that DS launched, almost from the moment that Wii went on sale, we've all heard the same word, fad. Well, that was never a fact, even if it was a real hope for some people. I'm here today to tell you that fad is no longer operable. It's inevitable when the paradigm shifts, imitation is just around the corner. Consequently, the only way to preserve your advantage is to create new advantages. If you positively disrupted an entertainment industry so well that both current and new consumers all say, yeah, I like that, then the next challenge is to disrupt your own thinking. The fact is that Mr. Iwata and Mr. Miyamoto have built a company in perpetual pursuit of that one thing, the next advantage. Not just the evolution in look, but the revolution in feel. This week, you'll feel the next steps as Nintendo builds the next advantage to keep you smiling. Thanks for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you over the next few days.